going on, guys? It's Ben and James from the Twin Engines of Destruction. We've missed a couple of episodes. It got a little cold where we were at. We both kind of felt a little sick, but now we're both feeling better and ready to start reviewing these Andor episodes. Starting off with episode 10, One Way Out. We finally get the breakout of the prison system in this one, guys, and it was a lot of fun. And after that one, we're going to start talking about episode 11, The Daughters of Ferrix, or Daughter of Ferrix.
Daughter of Ferrix.
Daughter of Ferrix. And then, so we're going to break those episodes down for you guys, let you know what we thought. So thanks for joining us.
Get yourself a cold one. Let's talk about it.
Cheers.
Cheers.
All right, guys. So like I was saying, this episode picks up right after the last episode where the doctor's talking about how no one is escaping the prison. And Kino and Andor have a quick little moment together where Andor is trying to convince him that, look at this, no one's escaping. Now is our time to move. Andor's been working on this plan, and he's trying to bring Kino in on it.
Now, Kino, he's had this mentality for who knows how long, how many years he's been in this prison, just being a good boy, keep your head down, don't cause any trouble, and you'll be out of there. And that foundation, that faith in the system is gone. It's shattered. Yep. Just watching his homie just getting zipped up and thrown away like just a piece of garbage. So a part of him knows it's true, that nobody's getting out, that they're just gonna be worked to death, and then a part of him just wants to be stubborn and tell Cassian to shut up and mind his business.
Yeah.
But he knows it. He knows, there's like this little inner conflict.
Yeah, it's
the first couple of minutes.
Such a good scene, man. Just this whole show just has scenes exactly like this where you feel the humanity in these guys' eyes and their speech, how they're talking. Without Kino, I don't think this plan goes the way they want it to.
I mean, I know we mentioned this in the last episode, but it really didn't hit home until this episode that Andy Serkis's acting is holy crap. Like, this dude can act. And, we've seen him playing Golem, and, he'll play like a CGI character, and he's enjoyable as them. But, I mean, as a dramatic actor, I don't think he gets his chops. Like, I don't think he gets his due.
We predicted in the last episode that he might not make it.
Yeah.
And after watching this episode, I'm pretty sure that he's just dead. But I don't know. Now, I don't think he might, because, you don't see an on-screen death.
Yeah.
And that's the rule of television. If you don't see an on-screen death, then you can always bring him back. So, hopefully he's not gone. But we'll get to that.
Now, there is a season 2 in the works, so
who knows? But,
Andy Serkis, incredible.
And then we get the whole breakout scene. We get the whole, we get to see the payoff of the water pipe. I didn't know what it was, but it turns out to be plumbing that Andor's been cutting through. And he comes out, he goes on program, and he's like dripping wet. And he's like soaked. And I'm like, I just thought that was hilarious that he's just soaking wet. And I was like, well, what's the plan here?
Yeah.
But it's because they electrify the floor. The water conducts the electricity, and the pipes are right next to all the electrical working.
So it's going to short it.
It short circuits the whole prison.
Yeah.
Or not the whole prison, but it short circuits that floor. And makes the elevator stop, and then their whole plan goes into action. They are able to get up on it and then take weapons,
the guards,
and
take the guns, and
prison.
Move up to the next level and get those guys out.
Yeah, it was
so great.
A snowball of freedom.
Yeah, and it wasn't the most complex of plans.
No,
but there was so much human spirit. I mean, I was just at the edge of my seat the whole time.
Yeah.
And every time one of the prisoners was shot or got electrocuted, oh man, it was sad. But then attack, and it just oh man, it was.
Dude, that one prisoner, the new guy that comes down, he gets involved, and it's his first day in the prison. You don't think he's gonna be trying to break out, but as soon as he sees the chance, he grabs that electrical stick and then stabs that one guard, but then immediately gets shot, and you're like, oh dude, you didn't even get a chance. This is for that guy.
Man, he was only there for a parking ticket.
There's also a part in this episode about the Krieger guy, and they're
Krieger.
But they're the Empire's sabotaging one of the ships. I'm still not very clear on that whole plan.
Yeah, me neither. I could be completely wrong, but that was one of Krieger's men.
Yeah.
And they killed him, and he must have had records of what they were planning, because they were planning an attack on Planet Spellhouse.
Oh, yes.
So they kind of got the drop, we know it's planned on this day.
Okay.
And that becomes a integral part of Luthen and with, all that.
Saw your arrows.
Yeah.
After that scene of the Empire's plan working, we get the scene with Mothma meeting up with Davo, this new banking guy. I don't know what he is. He's like an
embezzler, kind of like a money launderer kind of guy. So he's slimy. He's got that mafia vibe, but he's slick back hair, and
but you can tell he has the power to do what Mothma needs right now.
Yeah.
And he has some of my favorite quotes in the in the episode. When right before he leaves, he's like, "Well, that's the first thing you said that was untrue," or something like that. And
Yeah, because he's like, think about it with his proposal of his son meeting her daughter, and I'm not thinking about it. I'm like, that's the first bullshit thing you said, girl.
Yeah, and I was like, gee, he's reading you like a book, dude. That and when he's talking about the money laundering, he's like, the Empire's made it a game and we play. Yeah, and I was like, bro, that's so sick. This guy is awesome. The dialogue in this show is so unparalleled to any other Star Wars project, in my opinion.
Oh yeah, and that character he stole the show. Like I feel like he in an episode that was so exciting already.
Yeah.
I was like, who is this dude? I want to know more about this crazy guy. He just seems so likable in a weird way.
Yeah.
You know, so
we get a lot of great speeches in this episode. 2 great speeches specifically in this episode and the next one. This one we get Kino speaking over the loudspeaker to all the prisoners, and just riling them all up, getting that morale up to do this breakout. He comes up with one way out. Everybody starts chanting it.
At first he's quoting Cassian, like what Cassian told him like 20 minutes ago. But then little by little, like his confidence comes in, and all that natural leadership takes off. So it's like you see this little like I don't know what to say, so I'm gonna quote the guy that just inspired me. Then I'm gonna just come in with my own thing, and it was just great.
Point. Yeah, it's a great point.
Yeah, and the whole prison break. I remember I was texting you, and like I haven't felt chills watching something like that since The Dark Knight Rises, when Bruce made it out of the pit.
The pit, yeah.
When we see these guys just making it out and beating the crap out of the guards. Dude.
But the only other thing I could say is that One Way Out probably isn't my favorite chant of all time. Like, they could have come up with something a little cooler. But, I mean, because I was like, One Way Out. What's the One Way Out? What are we talking about here? But I guess he's talking about One Way Out is fighting.
Yeah, exactly. Out. Rebelling.
Yes, we have to fight. We can't just think that we're going to get out playing by the rules. It's Disney, so they can't say, like, fuck them up, or, like, get the fuck out, or, like, they can't say something like that. So One Way Out works. It's pretty good. And then we get this really cool reveal where we see this Imperial spy. This guy who we think is an Imperial, the redhead, the ginger Imperial, who's been in the meetings since the beginning.
Yeah.
We find out that he's one of Luthen's men.
Yeah, so he's like, I want out. I don't want to be your informant. I have a family to think about. And he's like, there's no getting out.
He says, I've been doing this for 6 years.
Yeah.
And you're like, holy shit.
So he's offering all these things like, you know, I want out. And then Luthen, he's just there all badass, like in the lower vet levels with his cape, all dramatic. And he's like, so you think you could just give me a going away present? Like, no, there's no getting out of this. Like, there's no getting out of this.
And he's like, but I've sacrificed so much. What have you sacrificed? And then fucking Luthen goes on with the one of the best monologues I've ever heard in Star Wars.
Yeah.
And he just lists all this crazy amount of stuff. He's like, I've given up. I share my dreams with ghosts.
Yeah.
Like, I've given up any chance of happiness. I know I'm probably not going to make it out of this alive, but I am doing it because it's what I believe in. Like, I've given everything. And it's one of the most moving, awesome speeches I've ever heard, and I love it.
What is my sacrifice? I'm condemned to use the tools of my enemy to defeat them. I burn my decency for someone else's future. I burn my life.
What do you call it? The frosting on the cake of such a great episode. Like, there's just this awesome monologue. Like, this dude just, I wonder how many times he practices that in front of the mirror, just in case somebody asks.
I like to think he came up with it on the spot. He just improv that whole thing.
Dude, put him in Def Jam Records.
So I guess that guy, like, is going to stay in it?
Yeah, he has no choice. Yeah. I mean, it's like, if the ISB finds him out, there's no getting out. If he betrays Luthen already has him by the short and curly. He's like, I know you have a family, you have a daughter now, you know? So everyone's stuck where they're at. Yeah. And then after that, we head on to, you know, the culmination of the episode, which is...
Oh, hold on. One more thing. Sorry to interrupt. One more thing before that is that in that conversation, we find out that Luthen is just going to burn Krieger. He's just going to let Krieger go down for this. He's like, what better way for them to start trusting you more is if we don't act on this knowledge and we just let him burn. That way they don't suspect you at all. They think you're completely legit.
Yeah, it's a chess game. Sometimes you just got to give up a pawn for a bigger victory. So it ends with the culmination of the prison break. They're at the very top. They've already, all the prisoners have secured the levels. They look out. There's no ships. There's nothing to fly
Just
out.
water.
So it's like a big drop into the ocean. It's cold water. This is a cold planet. And they just start like baby ducks, just making that jump, And it's like nothing. What are we going to do here? What are we going to do? We're going to eventually get, reinforcements will come. We're going to
We can't stay here.
Exactly. So they start making the jump, and then Kino holds back. And then Cassian asks him, like, what's wrong? And he's like, I can't swim. And then Cassian gets knocked over. So you just see these hundreds of men just swimming in the water. Very beautiful, very tragic. Majority of them are going to die of hypothermia.
Or just drowning, just can't swim.
Yeah, but Kino stays back, and so we don't know if he makes it, if he gets recaptured by the Imperials.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's the last we're going to see of him, unless he comes back in the second season.
Either he dies like that sacrificial figure to move our character's journey along, or he's just going to come back later on in some form. So, but either ways, I mean, it's just this very dramatic, exciting moment. At the very last shots, you see a couple of the prisoners make it to land. They're running barefoot in the snow, and it just ends, and it's like, holy crap, they made it.
It's such a sad moment though when Kino's like, I can't swim. I did all of this knowing I wasn't gonna be able to get out of this because he knew he couldn't swim. And I feel like that goes back to what he says earlier in the episode where he's like, I'm just gonna act like I'm already dead. Which basically he is, because he had zero chance of escaping, honestly, if you really think about it. All right, James, so tell me something that you didn't like about this episode.
Okay, so I don't know if it's a dislike. I don't know how to feel about it yet, but it just bugs me a little bit. And here I go, and negative Nancy, always nitpicking, even on a superb show such as this one. So it's not fair. But when Kino stops and he's like, I can't swim, to me it's like, we also can't get shot, but you've risked yourself. So I don't know. To me, it's like, we're already here. Just do it. I'd rather die drowning than fucking get captured by the Imperials and then be tortured nonstop. So to me, it doesn't make sense. It's kind of a cop-out. And then, I mean, I don't know. Maybe I'm being insensitive to people that can't swim, but I feel like swimming's an instinctual thing. You just got to jump in. Your body knows, go up for oxygen. Yeah, doggy paddle.
Do a little bit of this.
Yeah, dude, something.
It's not hard.
So, yeah, I did find it a little bit of a cop-out, but I kind of feel like that's because they want him to get separated so they can bring him back later on in some other form.
Or just have that sacrificial lamb. My dislike was I just feel like the whole breakout sequence just felt, and this is a nitpick too, it's not really like a dislike, it's just kind of like a maybe could have been shortened type of thing, is I feel like the breakout sequence was pretty long. Because they keep cutting back to it, and they're taking over another floor. They cut back to it. They're fighting these guys. They go back to it. A lot of men shouting one way out, and they're taking over another thing. And I feel like it just could have been shortened a little bit. I felt it felt a little drawn out, and some scenes weren't as needed. Not by much. I'm talking like a minute or two at the most, probably. That's literally the only thing I can think of, though.
What out of 10 would you rate this?
1 out of 10, yeah. I gotta go with 9 out of 10. I'm gonna give this one a 9 out of 10. That speech that both Kino and Luthen give are just some of the best speeches I've ever heard in Star Wars, like I said. And the breakout was just so well done. And that last scene where he's like, I can't swim. It was so sad.
I think I'm going to go with the 10 out of 10.
Yeah?
I just think it was the payoff was so sweet. And it's tragic because, a lot of these men are not going to even make it past the ice waters. Yeah. And also, once again, like you mentioned, like Luthen's speech was great. And just seeing these intricacies of how dark war is. It's not like how we were used to with the old Star Wars movies where like the light side, the light side, the dark side, these are the good boys, these are the bad boys. No, it's even the good guys have to make sacrifices. These are 50 men that are going to die. You got to warn them. No, we can't warn them. We let the Empire get overconfident. And it's dark. And he literally speaks about it. I let my mind become a sunless place. Such a...
Dude, so many quotes. God. So many good fucking quotes.
Yeah. So, I mean, this episode is a perfect example of why this show is so good. And it's insane. I'll post about it on my Facebook, for example. And people will make a little laughing emoji or like, please tell me you're joking. I'm like, well, of course you never got past episode 2. Of course you're not invested the way we are. But give it a chance because it's so good. Yeah.
Dude, it's so damn good.
So after that exciting ass episode of episode 10, we get to 11, Daughter of Ferrix, and this is just the aftermath of that breakout. It's very emotional. I mean, I would honestly say that this one's just as good as episode 10. So this one, we begin with Cassian and his buddy Melshi, another prisoner.
Melshi, that's his name.
Yeah, they made it out. That's the only two that we see that made it out, and they're like in this little ice, right beside the waters. You see these Narkinian fishermen. They're trying to catch fish. They're not having any luck.
Yeah.
Oh, they have a ship. They have, this sky jumper. I forgot what they call the ship. It's like a very old one.
Something jumper, yeah.
They make the run to get away to steal the ship, and they get caught by this netting thing, almost like a Spider-Man web thing that captures both of them. And these aliens, finally we get aliens. Finally they speak alien and not just like complete like American
They have
English.
their own like accents and stuff.
Yeah.
Dude, the Narkinians are so dope. I want them to have their own show next.
Yeah, they were cool.
They were so much fun. Like the way they talked and like how they were like just getting along and like talking about the Empire and stuff like that.
Poison our waters.
Like Toozy 2 or something like that.
Something like that, yeah.
Toozy 2. I don't remember.
So
they were just so much fun, dude. I loved them.
Yeah, that was cool. That was finally our boys catch a break. And then they're like, where do you want to go? And then Andor's like, Namos, so we're going back to Cancun, baby.
Yeah. And then after that, we get Dedra setting up this like funeral trap. She finds out about Andor's mom dying, and she's gonna use it as bait. She's like, they're gonna have a funeral. Make sure we got a perimeter around that bitch. Make sure we're ready to catch this guy if he goes to see her.
Yeah. And once again, it just shows how much of a chess game this show is. It's like, normally we don't allow funerals anymore, but you know what? For them, let it happen. Give them 2 days. Give them limited access. So there's only a little bit of people, so we're watching at all times. It's brutal. Even a family death, it doesn't stop them.
Oh, no.
And speaking of the family death, oh man, B2 Emo is just like the saddest little droid ever. He's like a sad little puppy when she dies.
Yeah, he's all depressed, dude. I've never seen a droid more depressed. I mean, the most we get out of is like R2-D2 when he's in like hibernation because Luke's not there, but he's not like wallowing.
Yeah,
He's just turned off. He's right up there with R2-D2 for me.
See, and how you mentioned that you're a big droid guy. I'm not. To me, I'm that guy that like, they're kind of like second class citizens kind of thing. I know it sounds really terrible, but I don't bond with droids. I'm just like, eh. But this was just like the saddest little.
Yeah.
And then when that guy's like, come on, I'm gonna take you with me, and like, you could stay, and he's like, okay, one night. Like, that was like the most sweet thing, because he could have been like the way I kind of view them, like, no, you listen
don't
to me,
have
you're
feelings.
property,
You're
get over
robot.
here. Yeah, but the fact that it's like, okay, just this one night, it was such a touching little tender moment.
Hopefully he doesn't die. Hopefully he gets a lot more screen time and other things. We also get to go back to Bix. Finally we see Bix again after her torture session, and man, does homegirl look beat up, dude. She looks bad. Her eyes are like sunken in and black, and like, she looks so, she can't even walk.
I couldn't even tell if she had like a little an eye sty or if it was a tear, but there was like a little wart on her eye. It kept bugging me. It's like, is that a tear? Because it's been there for a while. Like, you got to roll down already.
I didn't even notice that, but she just looks beat up, man.
Yeah.
Like I
Poor
said,
girl.
she can't even stand. She can't even walk. That's how messed up she is now. And then they're interrogating her and asking if Krieger is the one that she fixed up with Andor.
Yeah, is this Axis? Is this the guy that you're... So
But it's
obviously
not,
they don't
right?
know who it is.
Yeah.
No, but we don't get an answer. She just kind of breaks down. So we don't know if she finally, after 30 days of torture, like, finally breaks down.
The smartest thing she could do is say yes, because Krieger's gonna die anyway.
But she doesn't know that.
Exactly. But we don't. So that's the fun part of that, and they don't give us the answer to what she says. We don't know if she can even talk right now.
Yeah, so we're gonna have to find out next week in the finale what she said, because that's gonna alter the situation.
Exactly. Yeah,
because
because
it could go one way or another.
If she says yes, then Luthen's plan goes perfect. If she says no, it's this guy, then everything's gonna kind of go awry from that point on. So hopefully, homegirl stays strong and just says yes, gives them what they want to hear or something. Yeah. So here's another conversation I was a little confused about, was Mothma's conversation with Vel about being in trouble.
Well, it's because she's screwed either way. One, the Imperials are going to eventually get down to like, where have you been taking out this money? Where have you been taking it to?
Yeah.
You know, because she has 400,000 credits. That's a lot that's a lot of money where did it go? Did you go on vacation? Did you buy something? You have to prove it. It's like when you get audited by the IRS, and I've been audited. So it's so annoying. So it's like, it's only a matter of time before the Imperials get to me, or I get in deep with the Sharks over here with this Devo guy, and he's asking for my literal daughter. Like, he's maybe not for him, for his son, but I mean, we all know it's for his power structure.
Yeah. It would make sense to me if Mon Mothma was just going to let that happen and just go with it and sell her daughter. She's going to have to make some sacrifices like Luthen has and do it for the greater good. I think that's what's probably going to end up happening. So it's going to muddy up her character a little bit. She's not going to be this woman in white who's just this purest woman you could think of and just this complete perfect rebel, but has done nothing wrong and is just in there for the good fight. She's going to have to get her hands a little dirty here and do something a little on the bad side of her morale.
Yeah, I mean, welcome to war.
Exactly.
That's the thing. You can't have your cake and eat it too. Oh, I don't believe in war. I don't believe in this. And then, like, you're funding rebels. Like, even how Luthen told her, like, in episode 4, like, what did you think was going to happen?
But that's great. What great storytelling.
Yeah. I never thought I would be interested in a rich white lady senator.
Yeah.
My life.
Who would have thought Mon Mothma would have been so deep? But it's good they didn't give her own show. It's good that she's having this arc in Andor. It makes sense because it flows with the entire message of everything that's going on in the show.
Yeah.
Because I don't think people would have watched the Mon Mothma show. I don't know. Probably not.
No, we're getting the action figures.
We get Cyril talking again with his little homie.
Oh, yeah.
His little deadbeat cop homie.
The Scottish guy.
Yeah. He's funny, though. He's a cool character. And he informs him that Andor's mom has died, and it's a really choppy message and phone call, so he's like, they're not able to talk like specifics, but he just finds out that Andor's mom's dead and that there's going to be a funeral and that he might be there.
Yeah, I thought that scene was great too. Like, just seeing homie with the hair all messed up, like, phone call for you, it's like 3 a.m. and like, what? I say that again. And
yeah, there's the what, like a smelter or something in the background,
sorry,
like making a lot of
it's
noise.
A smelter. And the mom's like nosy in the back, just like listening, because typical nosy mom. Homie's back in. I mean, it's not like he was ever really out, but now he's like.
But he's got a lead now, a good lead.
Yeah, and so it all is culminating. It's all culminating to Ferrix and the funeral of Cassian's mom.
Yep.
That's where it looks like every big player in the show is coming together.
Yeah, and that's where the show started. Right back where the show started, where we got our first big climax for their escape from Ferrix. We're getting this culmination of everybody meeting back up there. And who knows? Damn, that's going to be crazy. Yeah. But before we get there, we get Andor getting back to that party town.
Naimos.
What was it? What'd you call it?
Planet Cancun.
We get him going back to Planet Cancun in his old hotel room. There's some aliens sleeping in the room. He breaks in, I guess. Yeah. And he finds his cash. His cash is still there.
Hey, I was worried about that for like weeks. I was like, what about his money, dude?
Yeah, dude, I couldn't believe you were so hung up on that. But I mean, it comes back into play. He's got his weapons in there. He's got his credits in there.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that reminds me. We also get a scene where Cyril steals from his mom.
Oh, yeah.
And steals from her safe and steals some money. So I guess so he can get the trip down to Ferrix.
I thought he was a good boy.
Ah, man. No more cereal for that guy.
I was so relieved when he got the money. I was like, yes, it's still there. And he's got his gat. He had 2 guns in there. I was like, dude, things aren't so bad now. You know, he could at least buy clothes.
He's got his loadout, as we would say in Warzone talk.
Yeah.
Call of Duty talk.
I'm so glad he got his money.
Yeah, you can sleep peacefully at night now, James.
So after this, we cut to Luthen meeting with Saw. He's getting, Saw has changed his mind. He wants to join Krieger.
He's like, I'm in
this raid. He's like, but all the weapons you promised. He's so excited. Homie's so excited to, like that kid waiting for like his dad to take him to the field trip or whatever.
Honestly, I feel bad when Luthen's like, oh, that's not happening anymore. And Luthen's like, why not?
Why?
Yeah,
you were so excited.
Me too. He was like such a crushed little kid. Like, why?
What?
He was all excited for all these missile launchers and all.
To get his fucking raid party going.
Yeah, and then I don't think that's gonna happen, you know. But it's a great, once again, how Luthen had this conversation in the last episode with the double agent. Now he's having it with Saw Gerrera, and Saw Gerrera is just a quirky guy. He's a very paranoid guy. He's a great
character, dude. I love Saw Gerrera's character. I always thought he was weird in Rogue One. He's the same dude, but he's like getting to that point.
Exactly, he's not quite there yet, but you could see that he's becoming unhinged.
Yeah, he's a kook in Rogue One.
So in this one, Of course, Luthen's like, I don't think so, and then he's like, why? And he's like, because Krieger...
They know, ISB knows about it.
Yeah, the
knows
ISB,
about
it's
Krieger.
going to happen. And he's like, so you're going to let him...
I love it where he's like, you're going to burn him. Or you're going to let him burn.
Yeah,
or something like that.
yeah,
I was like,
you said it better than I did, yeah. It's tragic because he doesn't see the world the way Luthen does. To him, it's like, well, so you're... I mean, how can I trust you? What if it was me? And that's a great point. And he's like, no, Krieger doesn't know who I am. You would, so...
But and then that's another great thing. He's like, Krieger can't touch me. He can't hurt me. He doesn't know who I am. We've met, but I was just in the room.
Yeah.
And like, he didn't know we have secret communication, so he doesn't really know who I am. And he's like, he can't hurt me. And then Saw's like I can. And then he's just quiet. He doesn't say anything. He's like, oh yeah.
Yeah.
he's like, okay, I'm starting to get it here. I'm starting to get it. So I see why you would want to burn him. And then again, this whole show is so quotable, man. So many quotes, left and right, dude. They're just throwing it at you. And then he gets the whole scene where he's like, "You have men everywhere, don't you? Where are they at? You have men here. You have men over there.
And the ISB,
one of my people. One of my people. Who is he? Tell me who he is." And then fucking Luthen's like, "Oh, it's two tubes over here."
He throws my guy under the bus,
and he's like, "What? What?" Dude, he's like, "I'm completely lost. I don't know what this guy's talking about." And he totally sells it. That is,
I mean, Two Tubes was like pissing his pants at this point.
Yeah. So yeah, he sold out Two Tubes. It made him seem like he was another spy for Luthen, but it was all just to get Saw to see like the weight of the situation and to see that if we give up Krieger, then the Empire is going to be just as paranoid as you are right now, thinking that I have people everywhere, thinking that the rebellion is on their heels, like about to start off at any second. But if we let Krieger fall for this and go down 30 men and Krieger, then the Empire will be none the wiser. They'll think they're so smart and they'll just overlook everything, and they're free to play ball and do what they need to do.
Yeah, let them get overconfident. Let them feel proud of themselves and accomplished, and feel like we took care of it, boys, while you guys played the long game.
Exactly. I just love Saw. Like, he's so quotable. They have that whole thing where he's like 30 men and Luthen keeps coming in with plus Krieger. Like, Luthen knows what he needs. He doesn't need to be reminded about everything he's sacrificing. He knows. He keeps himself accountable for everything. It's just 30 men plus Krieger. And I love the emphasis that he keeps doing that. And then we get this other quote where, because Saw says, it's for the greater good, though. We're going to let Krieger fall for the greater good.
Yeah. And
Luthen's like, call it what you want to call it. And Saw comes in and he's like, let's call it Star War. No, he says, let's call it war. Although the other way would have been a lot.
Oh, it would have cemented it.
Yeah, dude, this is Star Wars. It's a war, dude. Your people are going to get their hands dirty. My cat is going nuts right now. He's getting his hands dirty.
The thing is, like, it's just the fact that a war isn't this idealistic, overly simplified, old world thinking, and Star Wars has always done that, where it's like the good guys, the bad guys. It's just, sadly, a lot of sacrifices and a lot of guilty consciences, and it's a lot of gray.
On both sides.
Yeah, exactly.
Not just you're all good or they're all bad. There is always going to be gray.
Yeah.
And this show reminds us of that constantly, and that's why the show's so damn good. And after that, we get one of the best scenes I've seen in Star Wars for a long time, since Luke Skywalker came in to save the day in The Mandalorian. We get this great space battle with Luthen. He gets tracked down by this...
Arrestor cruiser? Is that what it was called?
Yes. Such a cool looking like Star Destroyer, but with just some big satellite dishes on it. And you think our boy's done. You think this is it. He got caught. They got the tractor beam on him. Luthen's trying to talk his way out of it with some fake code. It ends up going through and they're like, oh, okay, it passes. Should we just let him go? And this douche of a cop is like, no, let's just go ahead and...
We could use the practice.
Yeah, let's just bring him on in. He completely gets what's coming to him because Luthen acts like he's done this 1,000 times. He's completely cool, calm, and collected the entire time. He knows just how to stall, knows exactly the right words to say to buy him enough time for his like minds to charge. And then he releases them, and then all hell breaks loose. Their satellite dish just gets completely destroyed. Their main tractor beam, I guess. Tractor beam gets let loose. They send out these 3 TIE fighters and a bomber. And you think Luthen's just going to take off. Like, he's going to run away, right? Because this is 4 ships that are coming after him. but our boy just turns right around, right into them, pulls out his like Millennium Falcon automatic
little turret,
and just goes to work, dude. And he just completely takes out like 2 of them with that. And then these other 2 are chasing him, and he
just Darth Mauls their asses, like just
he activates. He's like, activate Darth Maul mode, and then, dude, that shit is so sick.
Yeah, that was impressive.
This is another reason why we watch Star Wars. It's for the ships. It's for the technology. Their weapons drives, their hyperdrive, all the mechanics and inner workings of and intricacy of their like technology and their craft, their flight crafts and stuff, their weaponry. And we get to see it in full effect in this scene, and it just looks so damn good. The CGI looks fucking incredible.
Yeah, no, this show really, like, the budget, the sets, and all that stuff.
Just completely knocks it
really
out of
great.
the
The
park.
costumes, outstanding. But yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I was really worried about Luthen. I was like, no, they got him. Like, luckily, no. He
gets
fox
out of
is
there
2 steps ahead of the hound.
Exactly. That is exactly what Luthen is. A complete fox, dude. Not like that.
Too sexy for my shirt. Too sexy for my shirt. So sexy it hurts.
I don't think about him like that. But like in his craftiness. He's crafty. And then after that we get the end of the episode where Andor and Melshi are talking. They're like there's a beautiful sunset. They're like talking to each other, and Melshi's like, people need to know what happened at that place, how the Empire's screwing people over. We should split ways to double our chances. Little does Melshi know that Andor just got a phone call that let him know that his mother is now dead, and which is going to set him on a path to probably go to this funeral, and who knows what's going to happen.
No.
And we will find out. We got 1 episode left, guys, of Andor. It's coming out next week. So excited. I love this show. So if you have any dislikes, what would a dislike be?
I have no dislikes.
I have no dislikes
This
either.
was an amazing episode, and it ends it's so subtle because Andor's not like crying. He didn't tell his friend, hey, I just found out my mom died. It's not like that. But it's just like this,
this moment.
Yeah, his friend's like, hey, we need to tell people what happened. And you could see him growing as a rebel, as someone who's anti-Empire. And he's like, yeah, go take this. He gives him a gun. He gives him some cash. And he just sits there and you see the sun setting.
Dude, and the music swells and the music is
there's cellos,
beautiful.
like some string instruments.
The music is so well done. And it's such a beautiful, like, heartbreaking scene. And it's just so touching. And then, bam, black screen.
Yeah.
And then... till next week, man.
And that's it. Next week is the finale. It's all the big players are coming together to this one funeral, and it's like, I don't know what to expect.
I don't want to say goodbye to this season or this series for another year, or who knows how long. They're already gonna film season 2, or I think they already started or something.
Yeah,
or gonna start. But yeah, no dislikes.
No,
I give this episode 10 out of 10.
Same here.
Easy,
Same
beautiful
here.
Episode, perfect, loved it.
And the funny thing is, it's not even the finale.
Yeah.
Like, we're giving a 10 out of 10.
We might be setting ourselves up.
I don't think so.
But I don't think so.
They have not missed.
No.
They have not missed.
Exactly. This show does not miss.
And not only that, but it has, for those who've been saying it's too slow, whatever, it's been picking up. And it's getting the more Star Wars feel. You're starting to see stormtroopers, you're starting to see aliens and ship battles. So it's starting to get that more Star Wars feel towards the end. It's like finally paying off.
Exactly.
So
And not only that, Star Wars, but people are saying this is the best show on TV right now. And I full-heartedly agree. Best show on TV right now.
I stayed up to watch it last night. I watched it, and as soon as the credits were rolling, I text you, like, holy crap, how does this good? And I immediately rewinded it to watch it all over again.
Yep.
It was that good.
Yeah, it's blowing my mind how it just keeps getting better and just upping the stakes, and it's just so damn good. The writing is just continually topping itself. The beauty of it is just completely topping itself. The characters, it's just so good. And I can't say it enough. If you have not watched this show and you're just watching us and haven't watched it yourselves, please go watch it right now.
So that's about it for us, guys. As you can tell, we loved episode 10 and 11, and we are down to episode 12, which is going to be the season finale. Ooh. And honestly, even though we're this close to the ending, it's hard to tell what's exactly going to happen. I mean, this show just tops and turns, and it just keeps just keeping you on your toes. So who knows? In a way, I'm dreading it because I'm scared of who's not going to make it. But it's so exciting. Great writing.
I'm dreading it because I feel like this is going to be the last really well-written Star Wars show in a while.
I mean, fingers crossed, don't ruin Mandalorian Season 3, please.
Dear God, let that be... Man, to put anything up against this is really fucking tough. So hopefully the next project or the next coming projects can kind of reach this standard. But man, this thing has really raised the bar for me for Disney Plus shows. What do you guys think is going to happen in this finale? Is there going to be some kind of like, who's going to die? Like, who's going to make it out of this? Are we going to hear about Andor's sister again? That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, they haven't brought her up since episode 1.
Is she going to show up to the funeral and we're going to get to see what happened with that? Or is she actually just dead?
Yeah, I mean, anybody showing up to this funeral, it's almost like an event. So, I mean, it's just going to get crowded. It's going to get unpleasant. I'm worried about Luthen because I love that character so much, but there's an ace in the hole here with the ISB because Cyril said that he could recognize him, and Cyril's making his way over there. So it's like, this guy better not snitch my guy out.
Oh, I could... Damn, now that you bring that up, I could see that happening.
Yeah.
But let's hope... I mean, Luthen was so good getting away. You wouldn't have an escape scene like that and him just to get caught by Cyril, right? Maybe.
No,
I don't know. Maybe he will, though.
But the fact is that we're this close to the conclusion and we still don't know what's going to happen shows how great this show is in terms of like, man, things can switch like this.
Edge of my seat.
Yeah.
The entire time.
Yeah, same here.
But thank you guys so much for watching. This is going to be it from us for this episode. Be sure to give this video a like. Please, guys. It really helps out. Really helps out the channel. Really helps the algorithm. Helps us videos get put out there. We love you guys so much. Thank you guys so much for watching. We appreciate y'all so much. We're just having a good time here. Talking about this show. It's just so much fun. I love it. Best Star Wars show, if not best TV show on TV right now.
Yeah. So chime on down below, and we'll see you guys next week with another video and the final season finale of Andor.
Woo! It's going to be exciting.
Thanks for joining us, everyone. Cheers.
Cheers. See you then.